took harsh decisions to save Nigeria from collapse, Shettima says. The choice of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to take hard decisions in the interest of the country was necessary, considering the unenviable economic state the nation was when it took office. About a year ago, Vice President Shettima was speaking on Thursday at the Second Chronicle Roundtable held at the Continental Hotel Abuja, giving reasons why the administration had to take actions on the petrol subsidy regime and the foreign exchange market intervention. The Vice President, who was the guest speaker at the event, also described the gloomy economic state when the Tinubu administration took charge, pointing out, however, that President Tinubu would rather take the harsh but surest route to the required recovery. He implored Nigerians to be patient with the administration as the president steers the ship of state through the economic turbulence and storm it met on ground, expressing confidence that some of the measures being administered would soon bring desired results for the nation. Leadership in a time of crisis is akin to standing in the helm of a ship going through a storm where the weight of everyone on board rests upon your shoulders and the course your chart will shape the destiny of all who follow. In such moments, true leadership demands not only courage but also the wisdom to forge on or abandon ship. His Excellency President Bola Tinubu chose the option that will save the life of the nation instead of the one that will merely prolong its imminent and predicted economic death. And we do not resort to putting the blame on the previous administration leadership. Leadership is about courage, leadership is about continuity, leadership is about taking far-reaching decisions. The year before we took office, Nigeria's debt service to revenue ratio had gone to 111.18%. The anticipated debt crisis may sound like fancy economic jargon to the man on the street, but I promise to have a meaningful conversation with you. But you and I are in a better position to understand how such miscalculations have played out in other countries. It is an economic death sentence. In plain terms, our debt servicing was such that if you earn 100,000 naira, the entirety of the money was not only paid to your debtor, you are forced to borrow an additional 11/8 to pay the debtor. How do you intend to survive this? Before you become a pariah, we are not even discussing the nation's budget deficit, diversions of resources from critical sectors of the economy, and corruption masterminded by a subsidy regime. We had to get rid of the subsidy, or the subsidy would get rid of the Nigerian nation. It was a bitter pill to swallow, but we had to do it. And we know that the government is a continuum, and whoever has succeeded the previous government would have either chosen to steer the ship through the storm, as President Tinubu is doing, or jump ship and let the country implode. He, however, lamented the level of sabotage that the nation's economy had gone through in the hands of those he noted were only concerned with personal gains over national interests, particularly pointing at fuel subsidy beneficiaries and foreign currency speculators. Our brothers in charge of the CBN, Mr. Yemi Cardozo, and the NSA Malam Nuhu Ribadu, had to take matters into their hands to neutralize the overpowering influence of currency manipulators who had conspired to frustrate our reforms. Today, I stand proud to say that their interventions have translated into desired results, and Naira's pushback against all odds is an inspiring journey that doesn't have to be learned in Buenos Aires, as someone wanted us to do. They were projecting that the Naira would go to as high as 5,000 to the dollar. Some betted against the Naira. Some borrowed mercilessly from the banks and bought dollar at a cost of 2,000 Naira to the Naira. I align myself fully with the position of Dr. Shamsuddin Usman. It's sad, it's disheartening, it's befuddling that some of us do not wish the nation well. They would rather that the nation imports. Well, let it be known to them, when the rain falls, it doesn't fall on one man's house. He also reminded critics of the choice of the administration's route to economic recovery, that there is no one-size-fits-all solution to complexities facing individual nations. Every country is a product of its economic history and context. We respect what President Javier Milei does there, and we wish him well, but governance is not the photocopying machine some of us believe it is. When I speak about the contextuality and complexity of each country's economy, I acknowledge this economic sabotage we have to endure, he said. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, though humbly it might be, there is no place like home. We have to unite. We have to fuse into one. Politics is over. We are now in the phase of governance. We need to move this nation forward, not for my own sake, not for the sake of the people at the high table, but for the sake of the black man. They all look up to us for political reasons I don't want to call citizenship, but the hope of the black man rests with the people of this country. 75% of the GDP of the West African sub-region is generated by Nigeria. And this is the news for today. Don't forget to like this video, comment under this video, and subscribe to this channel to get more news like this.